Hello everyone, welcome. Here is yet another Linux CLI command videos, and today's video is the beginner video. So basically we're gonna be diving into the basic of some of these CLI's Linux command line, so you can get familiar with it and start using it. So first of all, as you can see, we're not gonna be writing in here, so we're gonna be remoting into our terminal first. So first of all you need to do is there are quite a few methods to do it. So mine is just basically just open up your terminal, so it's easier to write in the terminal because I have problem with my keyboard. So basically just copy this, and then you want SSH, and I think you want to reach usernames, which username is mint, and then you want this hash, and then you want to click easy address. So I think mine is 192.168, 130, and then 132. There you go. I'm gonna add the password. I'm hoping this is the right password. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. Okay, so hold on, I think that's the wrong password. So the password is okay. Finally, so there you go. Clear this up. Okay. Now, when you when you log in, you see a few of this line here. So what this line is basically here is your root. Not your root. Your current user. So now I am act as a mint user, which is username mint, and here is your machine, which mine is localhost, and here is actually normally your directory. So here you can see this command here to view your directory or your location or where you are. So here I am in the directory of home, and then mint for user, and there's also another command. Okay. Now you'd also see that there's a sign in front of this. So it said the dollar sign. Now this sign does have meaning to it. So a dollar sign representing the fact that you are now in the as you act as the normal user. So in here there's like two users. So the two user side, which one is a dollar, which represent the your normal user. Other one is the hashtag sign, which is this sign right here. Oh, sorry, this sign right here. So this sign right here is representing the super user, which for super user is as the name suggested, is basically a superior user. So basically the normal user, as obviously as you can guess, a normal user cannot do a certain operation. So only then you have only if you have the administrations right. In some cases, only then you can actually access a certain operation. So like root, for instance. So this sign right here is kind of represent the super user, which is normally the root folder or root user. So unlike the normal user, root user be able to operate, or you can operate doing the all kind of configuration that the normal user cannot. So basically this is act like an administration user. So basically normal user cannot add or remove any like software configuration, stuff like that, but a root user can. So that is when the root users come into play. So to switch to root user, so there is command for it. To switch to root user, you can just basically just type SU, which stands for super user. Okay, now when you type SU, now either you type SU or you type a SU like root. Now either of these commands work the same. If you type SU, it's gonna obviously recognize that it is in fact you wanna go to the switch to the root user. So when you enter, you're gonna need some password. Now some password you're gonna give it your password. There you go. That's some password right there. Now you can see that it's now set C here. Now your current root user is now in root, and now your local machine is still the same thing. Okay, here is your directory. So now you can actually see here that directory now when I type, and also there's in front of this one it said this hashtag sign, which this represents the root user. So now you in the root user, so you now act a root user, you can do other various operation that a normal user can't. Now to view this, to view whatever user you are, so you can either go with the home and then mint, so directory is the basically the here. So you actually just see here, you don't even you type it. So it's, in home and then mint. So there's also another command which gonna be now as you notice that this command changes user only. So you see here your directory is still in the home and then mint your user. So what the other command do is SUs, and then you will set the just want to type like SU, like what is it, SU and then dash, so it dash, and then you can put like say root, but you don't even need to put roots in here. If you just click dash here, set, it will go to the root. Now you can actually see here that now into pwd, and now you see that you're now in the directory of root and no longer here. So this command is same as this, but this one is it's gonna load the environment of root and not only change the user, but it's gonna go in it's gonna transform into the directory of the root. So that's quite useful. So you don't want to like stay in the same path. Okay. There's also another command which if you type sudo, which it does exactly what all these do. So it has a function of the same. So it says sudo, and now I'm just not gonna just take sudo normally. Actually, there you go. Now when you put sudo, now this one is quite different. Now sudo, same as with the su, but this time it will only run a certain command in the root user. So basically, some commands, certain command you cannot run in the as normal user. So you just wanna run it. You need to run it as the administrator's privilege. So you wanna run it as a root user. So basically, sudo does exactly that. So basically, I wanna like, let's say, you wanna like sudo and then add user, stuff like that. It can be done because when you do it, it's gonna need a password. Okay. So basically, it's the same as the SU, but the only difference is that SU is not safe because you are becoming, and on becoming you are switching a user. So you're switching entire user to the root user. So you don't want to do that because sometimes it's really hard to see whether or not you're in the normal user or SU. So you might perform some operation that might just ruin your system. So that's quite useful to use the sudo instead of just SUs, which is a much safer option. So you can just, when you need to run a command, just never type SU. You will ask you for your password instead of the root password, which is quite useful. So you now ask a certain user that is already adjust to perform a certain operation without having to type in your root password. So that's quite useful. So now that we know about that, let's see. Okay, so now we're in the this here super user. So to go back, you just need to just exit, and you just like log out, exit again to see your previous user. Okay. Now that you kind of get the idea, so you can go to the talk about the directory. Now to go to the directories, so there's a few commands to that. So first of all, there's also this command, which is ls, for showing all the infos or all the files of your systems. So ls stands for list. So when you type ls, you'll see there's a whole list of your directory here and some files in it. And also another command is ls and then l, and then you dash it and then you shoot l. You will see that it will show a lot more details. Another one is ls a. It will show all the hidden files, and you can see here, if the file start with dot right here, you see that it is in fact a hidden file. And also if you mix it up, said ls al, you'll see both the list and the hidden files show all of them here. That's quite useful command. Also you see here, I have a all here, some of my directory. Now I want to go to that certain directory. So let's say, just I'm sure you already know this command, which is cd. Even Windows has it. So cd and then some file. Let's say I want to like go to this file here, name some file. Folders, sorry, not file. Some file, and now you should see here in the some files. Okay. Now some file here, ls, doesn't show anything because there's nothing there. But it was just like ls and then hidden, dash and a. I'll see some hidden files, or maybe like that here. Just some. Oh, sorry, ls. Dash l. Okay. See a total of 0 because that's not really files in here. Okay. This one right here, I see a couple of files here. So let's say I want to go to like this file here, cds. I want to go like testing. My file testing. See this my file testing. Oh, actually, it doesn't have it because I'm typing it in the directory here. So I need to go back first. So to go back one directory, a previous directory, you can just cd and then dash here. Actually, cd and dash. Just you make sure there's space in between it. So now in the in this here, just home and main. So this is your previous directory locations. Then I go to like this file here, like testing. And testing, and I'll say ls. I'll see a few bunch of files. Or let's say I want to go to hit ls to hit a bunch of files here. So there's new. There's a few files that is just written. So for the cd command, there's a few things that you can do with it. So basically, if says few thing that does the same thing, or basically the same thing. So say you want to like go to here testing. So cd like previously, this one is for the set to previous directory, same as that one. So if you want to go to the previous one, instead of go to back one directory, you can just do here. Oh, sorry, that's not correct. Go to here too, and you go back one step. So one folders, right? One folders. Say you want to go like let's say ls. Okay, there's a here. Is okay, there's full file here, and then maybe cdb. There you go. So to go back in one directory, save it all the way, like just seriously, you just use the command here. If you go back one directory, or if you just want to go back like straight away, like say for example, hold on, you type cd, and then here you will go back to the first directory straight away. So you go. A quite useful command. Speaking of directories, to make a directory, simply just type mkdir. Oh, for some reason that's not. Okay. I'm gonna put the names on it. Let's say and names like something like some I don't know. Okay, and you ls, and you see it's new folder just created. Now if you want to create something, let's say I want to do it, not create, just register any actions. Let's say for instance, like want to like during the you want to create something like mk dir, just type rank. Let's say it's a file something let's say folder 1 or something like that. Folder 1, okay. Now to make sure that you did create that without having to check on it, you just dash and v. See here that it said mkr create directory folders. Okay. So in the case that if it's just Like say you create something and it didn't really show nothing, so you can just show that manually with V, but doesn't really necessary to be honest. Also, you can actually auto create a parent directory. Say you want to like make a new directory. Let's say mk again, mkdr, and then you want to make a directories. You just cp. Now it's specific. You have to cpv, which is for the this right here again. Then you want to create a folders, parent folders. Let's say a b, or say 1 2 3 or something like that. So 1 and then 2, just like that, and then enter. You see that it create your folders. Now it might sound confusing, but it said create 1 and then 2 here, which means 2 is in the folder 1, which is 1 and 2. 1 is the parent of 2. When you see ls again, you see that is quite weird because it only show 1, by the way. It doesn't really show the folder behind it, which just makes sense. And if you like ls and then ar again, you see that it still doesn't show it. So say if I go to like certain folders, say just previously 1, tap ls again, you'll see that another folder is 2. Go back another folder, cd. Okay, it's the folder right there. Okay, now speaking of folders, inside folders there is files. Now to make files, if we need to create it in the folder, so you do want to like go to a certain folder. So to say, want to go to some for like testing. Sorry, that does not work at all. Testing. You see now you're in the directory of testing. Now say you want to like go to the a certain folder. Say it's quite a few folder here. And say you want to go to a folder called, or maybe I want to create another folder, a new folders. So there's a couple ways to do that. So either you go to touch and then create your folder name. You see my files 1 and then .txt, give it extension. Obviously it's txt extensions. Click enter and you see it again. So obviously it doesn't show anything unless you manually put V's on it. But it's did create. When you click ls, you see it's just a newly created file called myfile.txt. Quite useful. And the other way to do that is using the text editor. Now if you're not familiar already, there's a couple of text editor in the Linux distro. First one is the Nano, which is the oldest one and the probably the easiest one to use, most user-friendly ones. To access it, you can just put nanos and use it to display right here. Or you can access a certain files using nano by just nano and then new file. Say my files here. 1 txt. Sorry, txt. There you go. You have files. It's empty. Makes sense. Didn't write anything there. Also, there's always another command which is quite useful and faster. Just cat and then my files. Txt, not txt. In the right way, show your files. It's not empty, so show another files. Let's say another file that's not empty. Let's say recipe, not recipe, recipe. There you go. And this is the file right here. So quite a quick, useful command read. Another useful thing that you can do with cat is that you can combine files. So let's say I want to combine my files. Say, let's say notice and let's say notice. So I'm gonna go cat notice. So let's see what is in the notice. Okay. There's nothing. Okay. Let's see what's in the notice first. Notice txt. Okay. See, this is in notice. Okay. Now I want to combine two files. Let's say I want my two file and then put it into some file. So let's say cat, and then you combine two files, which is notice, that's txt, and then you want to write that on this recipe, that's txt, and then you put this sign here, which implies that you are writing this into a file called something, which is you created right here. So let's say output 2 or something like that. That's txt, enter, nothing happened, but it did happen. Then when you click ls and you see output 2 here, when you access it, you'll see that the file is now combined for some reason, which we did. Okay, That's quite useful. But like I said, the other way to do this is just use the text editor of the Linux. So there's like the 3 of them, which is the more popular one, which is one's Nano, which is already used, and the second one is Vim or VI or VIM, which a VIM is the basically a superior version of the VI, which is stand for the VI improve. So you're just gonna be using Vim. So same as the Nano one. So to create file, you can either choose touch and then file name, something like that, like file 1, file 2, and then dot extension files. If using Vim, same as always, just click Vim and then just click for file name, and that way it will create files. So say file text.txt. It will create a file. Sorry, a text.txt. Okay, it will create a file, a new files, might say. And if you want to go to that file or a different file, you can just Vim and then say new files. I say it's output here. So just say Vim and then let's say this files called notice txt. Oh, actually, hold on. Txt here. Txt. You'll see it access your file. You just typing there. So in typing mode, you can just type it in there, something like that, stuff like that. You know. To quit this, you can just here, just enter. Now you quit. Same as always. Okay, so that is the command, and we did really talk a whole lot about that already. And another useful command, which you already know, is remove. So remove do exactly as that. So if you want to remove a certain thing, let's say remove a file, it's the easiest one. So you remove a certain file, just remove files. Like my file.1. You can't type apparently. .txt, and we just remove the files. So there you go. Say ls and just remove all tile again. That's quite useful. To remove a certain directory. So basically you can use the rms to remove that. And to remove a directory though, you can use rms. Say you wanna remove a certain thing. Rms d, I guess I think on the rm there. And put the names on the directory. So let's say I have oh, actually, you know what? I can't see it. I can't even see it. So go back again. Go back this CD. And there you go. ls. See a whole bunch of directory here. Say one I don't really need, which is folder 1. So go to the folders. Delete that one. Just go rms. Make dir. So dir. And then create the file names. Folder 1. There you go. It will read that. Now bear in mind that this command only work if your folders is empty. Now if let's say I want to delete some folder that is not empty, like testing for example. So dir testing did not work because failed to do testing because directory is not empty. Now to force remove it or remove a empty a directory along with the files in it, so you just remove and then dash or which stands for recursive and put testing and it will remove it. Now maybe ls again, it will not show. So that simply removes it. So that is pretty much most of the essential command that you need to know to get started and get familiar with the CLI command. What a command is. What is a lot though is the command of the text editors, which is in VMIs or VIs. Text command or command to write or configure certain actions, certain operations in these text files. So there's quite a few commands, that you need to learn in there. So for this command, the basic commands, this is about the most essential thing that you need to know. So that's it. Like other command, maybe probably like clear, something like that, clear, or maybe history commands. So you can use your history. Give you all the command in the case that you want to know which what all the action, all the command you were writing. So in the case that you want to to remove it, you can just use history and then maybe dash clear. Don't want to clear that. Why not? Clear. And now we use history. There's nothing there. Okay. You know why I clear history? That's a dumb idea, but it's alright. Or we just clear. Just set clear. And you'll clear your whole board. Just like that. That's about it. I guess this is video.